Hello and welcome to a not so awesome review, and today we're looking at the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Legacy Collection Build-A-Figure Megazord. That is a mouthful. As you can see here, I do have him holding Saba and was it the Sword of Darkness? Something like that? Evil Green Ranger sword. And that's because the one unfortunate thing about this is unless you got the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Red Ranger, you don't have a sword for the Megazord. And there's no shield currently at all for him, so that's kind of the first thing I want to talk about, which sucks, because this he definitely needs a weapon to be posed good. He doesn't have any fists. He does have open hands. I was gonna say palms, so he can hold things. So I know they have the mold already for the sword. You know, we saw it. It's in the San Diego Comic-Con Red Ranger, so hopefully they reproduce that at some point. It doesn't have to be chrome. I don't expect it to be chrome like the Comic-Con one, because that was exclusive to Comic-Con. And I'm hoping we get a shield. I did mention in my White Ranger review that it would have been cool if the White Ranger and Green Ranger both came with the sword and shield for this Megazord, but they didn't. To complete this, you will need to get the whole Mighty Morphin team, which at this point is a little bit difficult, because unlike how is it Hasbro that does Marvel Legends? I think, unlike how they do their Build-A-Figures, this is more, I think, kind of like what DC does, but not really. That's Mattel, right? Right. Instead of releasing the Build-A-Figure in one entire wave, we've actually had to wait 3 waves to build the Megazord and put it together. Unless, of course, you went to Power Morphicon and bought the black and gold version that was complete, which, if I knew that was a thing, I would have gone, because I was considering going, but that's a whole other story. Yeah, you had to get Wave 1, which was Red Ranger, Green Ranger, and the 3 Ninja Storm Rangers, which actually completed that Megazord altogether, and I'm still looking for a Red Ninja and Yellow Ninja Ranger. Kind of wish I got them when they were easy to find. Now they're getting a little bit harder. Just some advice for you guys if you're debating on getting them. They are getting a little bit more difficult to find, especially the red one. Wave 2 came with Kimberly, Zach, and Billy, the pink, black, and blue Rangers. That came with both of the arms and the leg. Red Ranger, I didn't mention, came with the body. And this last third wave that just came out came with the last leg here, which, aesthetically wise, is probably the most disappointing part of this Megazord. So, really quick, I'm going to just pick it up, kind of remove these off camera, because Saba actually is in there pretty good. There we go. And yeah, first of all, he is a little bit taller than the Power Rangers. Let's see, he stands at just about that. I want to say a little bit over 7.5 inches, almost 8 inches to the top of this fin thing, which, wow, I just realized you can't even see what I'm doing. That's how close I got this thing. But yeah, he's about almost, I want to say above 7.5, not 8 inches, but close. I don't know, maybe 7.25, 7.75, I should say. And about almost 20 millimeters, a little bit shorter than that. So he is tall. If I move him back, you can see he does stand a good, I don't want to say a head, but yeah, he's a pretty good head. Taller than the Red Ranger over there, which is about the same size as everybody is, minus pink and yellow, who are shorter. Putting them together is easy. He's actually pretty easy to still kind of take apart. The arms, just pop in. The legs do the same, though they're a little bit harder because this doesn't move as much, though it does give a little, you know, it's a little bit rubbery. So, you know, articulation-wise, it's not the best. It's not like Marvel Legends where it's fully articulated, Build-A-Figure. He is a little bit limited. The arm doesn't move any higher than that. And, you know, I'm willing to kind of let all that go, because for the most part, the detail on him is good. And he's a Megazord, so the Megazords don't really have the biggest range in articulation to begin with, though I do feel that they could have made the arm go up higher, because that's kind of just sad. There is no swivel at any point here, which is again pretty sad. He does have a single jointed elbow and a ball hinge at the hand, so that's not too horrible. You know, you can raise his arm, move it out like that. It's not the worst articulation, but it's definitely by far not the best. His head is what I wish the Rangers had at their heads, because he can move down, move up, though the kind of like back skirt on his helmet gets in the way. He could look up higher if that wasn't there. He can pivot side to side, and he can rotate. Let me just move this closer. He can rotate all the way around. I actually have the camera pretty far from the table just so I can get this all in frame. So that's kind of why I'm struggling here to do this without bumping the camera. There is no ab crunch, which is a little bit sad. It's kind of expected, but it still would have been cool. No waist rotation either. That I feel like they could have incorporated right here between the gray and the black. His leg does kick up. This does move a little bit, but it's not really enough to do much. And he is a little bit heavy, so he kind of slides around if you don't have it right. He kicks back a good amount. He does have a single kind of, I don't even know if you want to call that a full joint. Just like a little ball joint, I guess, of a knee. So it's not too much movement, and the leg does have pretty good pivot and everything. But the Billy's, the blue one, doesn't look up as much because of the Tyrannosaurus part there. Tyrannosaurus. Wow. Names. I know this. Triceratops. That just slipped my mind. I can't believe that. Yeah. But, you know, articulation-wise, like I said, he's not the best. He is a little bit top-heavy, so if you kind of just don't have him in the right position... Huh, he's actually staying pretty good right now. There we go. There we go. Yeah, he can fall over. Getting him to stand perfectly straight is actually not as easy as I would have thought, because one leg kind of like tends to sway towards the other. Otherwise, he's a pretty good build-a-figure. I would recommend, you know, getting the entire wave and putting him together. It's a cheap way to get the Megazord, especially, well, cheap-ish, I should say, because you have to get all 5 Rangers to get the Megazord, and that's kind of expensive, especially since Red Ranger is getting harder to find. I've only seen him in the store twice. Bought him both times. The first time I bought him, he had he had, I think, 2 left upper legs. I don't know how that happens, but that was a problem. I've seen Blue Ranger in the store once. I think I've seen Black Ranger in the store once, aside from when I bought them. And Pink Ranger I see all the time at Toys R Us, so there is that. Yellow Ranger is hard to get right now. Not counting Green and White Rangers, because they don't really come with a Build-A-Figure piece, they just come with their weapons. But what I was saying is, it is a cheap way to get a Megazord, because unless you want to get the classic one from the 90s, he is relatively cheap to buy on eBay. But the Legacy Megazord, since it's out of print, again, has gone up a little bit in price. And then we have the Tamashii Nation one coming out, which I would love to get. It looks amazing. It is $300, and I don't think I can spend $300 on that Megazord, though I really want to, and I know it's going to go up in price later, so I just... But yeah, paint-wise, it's pretty decent. As you can see, they did a good job. They got the white on the head and everything. It looks good. It is missing, I think, a couple of white stripes right there between the black and the silver. The M for the Mastodon has the white outline and the yellow on it, so that looks good. The arms here, you know, they're missing a little bit of color. The yellow here, I think, is supposed to be highlighted with some red, and they didn't do the underside, so that kind of sucks, but take what we can get. They did miss the blue on the triangles down here, and the back just is pretty plain. We don't have the black treads on the Triceratops. We don't have any of the silver, really, on the saber-toothed tiger. And, you know, the molding, for the most part, is perfect. If you want to customize it and paint it yourself, you can do that. We're missing, like, the black outline between the little triangles here. This should be all white on the Triceratops' head. Let me move the camera down. But you can see detail-wise, it's there. If you want to try and paint that on yourself, you can. The only thing that's missing, detail-wise, is the two fangs on the inside of the saber-tooth tiger's head, which is annoying, or the saber-tooth tiger's mouth. I don't know. I feel like saber-tooth tiger was the worst one out of the entire body here. It just doesn't look right. The red stripe, it should have, I believe, it's black on the left, the right, and one line here in the middle. Most of this up here should be silver. Some of the sides should be silver. So, yeah, detail-wise, it has a detail. You can see right here, it does have all the sculpting lines, which is good. Same thing with the Triceratops. But paint-wise, it's not the best. But for a Build-A-Figure, it's not bad. I do hope they up the quality of these and give us more detail. I don't know if that's going to happen because the Astro Mega Ship, again, it's missing some detail, but so far from the pieces I have aren't that bad. Same thing with the Ninja Storm Megazord. Doesn't look horrible, though the arm for Tori's Megazord is definitely missing a lot of color. So take that as you may. It's still a good figure. I think it's a great kind of bonus, as you might want to put it, if you pick up the 5 Rangers. Is it as good as the Legacy Megazord? Probably not. I mean, it obviously doesn't come into pieces. There's no chrome. Those Megazords do look really nice, though this is a lot smaller, so for somebody who doesn't have too much space or doesn't care about having the Megazord displayed in its alternate pieces, or maybe somebody who wants to have the Megazord displayed in its alternate pieces, but also wants to have the Megazord complete and doesn't want to buy a second Legacy one, and you do want the figures, that's kind of a cool in between. You can display all the 5 pieces of the Megazord below it, have this on top. That would make a really cool display, to be honest. Not much else to say about it. I am going to try and paint mine and make it look a little bit better. I did do that with the White Ranger. I added a little bit of the black where he was missing it on his gold pieces. And if I do that and if it comes out good, I'll do an update on this. Otherwise, that's pretty much my review on this. Like I said, definitely something to consider picking up. If you see the Red Ranger in stores for retail price at 20 bucks and you're debating on getting it, I do recommend you pick it up. He's getting harder to find. He's going up in price. He's actually the harder one to get out of red and green, because green was the double in that pack. When they ship it out to the stores, basically 2 per box for green, 1 of red, the other red Ninja Storm, and yellow and blue. So Red Ranger, definitely pick him up if you see him. And that's pretty much my review on the Megazord. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, come back for more. I'll try and keep this channel going consistently. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.